Welcome to the Rural Revival Podcast. I'm your host, Dana Larson. Today we're with Taylor Borkowski of the Cottage in Denison, Iowa. Taylor and her mom bought out an existing business in January of 2020, only to shut down 6 days after their open house celebration due to COVID. It's been a wild ride, and Taylor's sharing how they overcame the COVID challenges, brought a massive change to their product line, filled a gap in the community, and recently moved locations. She also talks about her involvement with the community, which includes hosting events that incorporate a diverse population, and you'll see exactly why she was voted Volunteer of the Year. Real quick before we get to the interview, I want to ask you about your brand goals for 2024. Did you start out the year with big brand goals but still haven't found the time to work on those? If that's you, we've still got over 3 months left in the year, and we can help make this happen for you through Branded by Rural Revival, our rural design studio that specifically focuses on helping small businesses and small towns. From websites to logos, marketing assets, course building, and podcast setup, we are ready to help you build a brand you love. You can find out more at brandedbyruralrevival.co and go check out some of our latest work. And now, here we go with Taylor Borkowski. All right, well, we're here with Taylor Borkowski of the Cottage in Denison, Iowa. Did I say your last name right?
You did.
Okay, good. So Denison is known as the home of the famous actress Donna Reed. If
We
you know
are.
Donna Reed, It's a Wonderful Life.
It is a wonderful life.
Yeah. So is this your hometown?
It is. I born and raised here. Moved to Ames for a while for college, but now we're back raising our family.
Love it. So tell us a little bit about growing up here and kind of the career path that led you to.
Truly loved growing up here. Went to Lutheran school through 8th grade and then was very involved in high school, in music and sports and all that. Moved away briefly, obviously, for college. Went to Ames for cosmetology. Obviously, I'm not doing that. Had my first child, then went to school to be a teacher. Obviously, don't do that. Now working on having our 4th baby while owning a home decor boutique. So definitely spent lots of money I didn't need to on education, but I am thankful for those experiences. So.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes you have to try stuff out to find out, you know what, this is not going to be it long term.
Yes.
So in 2020, right, you bought an existing business in town.
Right. So January of 2020, we bought out your treasure chest, which had been around for about 26 years. We had our first day January 6th, 2020. It's kind of been a whirlwind since, because as we know, March of 2020, we were hit with the COVID pandemic.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we had our grand opening celebration, which was wildly successful. And then like 6 days later or something, we were shut down by local government.
Oh, my goodness.
So it's been a wild ride.
Yes. So I can't even imagine what that was like, having a new business in COVID. How did you navigate that?
It was, I don't even know what to say, because I think at the time we didn't know what to expect. We really didn't know what we were doing. We were brand new business owners. Thankfully, social media is so huge that we were still able to do like some live videos and have live sales and whatnot, street pickup. And so we just made it work. But
Got creative.
Yeah. After that, we were faced with the boats couldn't get out of the harbor and you couldn't get any deliveries. And then when you could get deliveries, you saw sometimes up to 22% in upcharges on shipping.
Wow.
So when I say it was a wild ride, and every business felt this, but being brand new, it was what are we doing?
And you had nothing to compare it to, really?
No.
Wow.
It's just so funny, when we talk to other business owners about, this has been a hard season or whatever, it's so funny because people are still well, it's still better than COVID, or well, compare that to COVID. But when you're shut down for 8 to 12 weeks, that was a rough year.
Yeah. And a lot of people were shut down longer than that,
Oh, yeah.
which is crazy. So you bought this existing store, but you kind of changed
Yes.
the offerings.
So your treasure chest, for a lot of years, was only kind of like a secondhand store and a used furniture store. And they were very successful with that. When the Phrases bought your treasure chest out, they kind of more transitioned it into what we have, but still had the used furniture. Used furniture, carrying that was not something I was interested in. So that was the first thing for us to just take off the table. And we also had plans for that space in our original basement to have like a workshop and do, wreath making class and makeup classes. And we did a macrame class. And then eventually we transitioned our basement into a full retail space. So just number one, being flexible and pivoting, and finding out what works for you, or like serving the needs of your community. But yeah, now we just carry home decor, and it does even look a little different now in our new location versus our old location.
Yeah. So did you feel like, I felt this as someone who lives close by. I feel like you filled a gap in the community that maybe didn't have these kind of offerings until you came into business.
I think, number one, I truly believe that Denison is so lucky with the number of small businesses we actually have.
Yes.
And when people from out of town come here, they're truly like blown away by the amount of businesses that line Broadway up here in Uptown Denison. But yeah, you're right. Without us, there really isn't a true home decor store. There's other boutiques that carry, some candles, or, they might carry a few pieces of decor, but we are primarily the only home decor store in like 20 miles.
Yeah. So I'm sure you draw a lot of people from outside of the town too.
It's funny, sometimes my mom and I will talk about like some of our best customers drive an hour to come see us. Like they're just so excited, or their community doesn't have anything to offer them. So we are the closest. But we daily see people driving here from other communities, and that's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I need to maybe take a step back and ask you and your mom decided to take on this together.
We did.
What made you want to have a retail store?
So, I think that was always a dream of my mom's.
Okay.
She just always has been such a decorator, like very crafty. That's just something she has always loved. And I don't know that, like for her while raising kids, like I just don't know that that was ever like an option. And then she still works full time at her job that she's been at for, I don't know, like 28 years or something. And I had closed my in-home daycare to take over. And our original plan was for us to both be here all the time. And then talking about pivoting, like we got hit with COVID. We just didn't know if supporting two families financially was the greatest idea in the midst of so much uncertainty. But we're always still looking like for ways to transition her to be here, because a lot of people don't realize that we do own the business together.
Yeah.
Back to your original question, before we took this step, we were working together. We had a little craft shop, I guess you want to call it, Our Design 3535. Exodus 3535 is, he has filled them with all kinds of skills to do all kinds of work. So that was really neat. We were traveling like craft shows and stuff like that. And then when this opportunity came available, it was like they were looking for a buyer. They were just going to retire. It just kind of felt right. And so here we are.
I love it. One of the things I really admire about you is how you've taken on this business, but you've also gotten really involved in the community. And I feel like you're really good at seeing opportunities and getting people to work together. And so tell us about Hot Summer Nights.
Hot Summer Nights has also been quite the adventure, and something that I'm super proud of, and something that I am very thankful our small community is able to experience. And Hot Summer Nights started as actually just a fundraiser for Uptown Improvement. There was a committee working to put new wayfinding signs in place and, get new banners and kind of rebrand Denison. Because as you mentioned, Donna Reed, It's a Wonderful Life. But if you're much younger than I am, you honestly probably have never heard of Donna Reed.
Right.
So we had hired a marketing company to come and, scope out Denison and give us ideas. And we kind of just landed on the plane on it really is a wonderful life here, and it doesn't only have to be about Donna Reed. So they kind of turned and have started to make that into It's a Wonderful Life because we are so diverse. And It's a Wonderful Life because we have special things here. So our first Hot Summer Nights year, all the money we raised went to making that slogan known. And if you come to Denison, you'll see our different banners now. They include 6 or 7 different languages that are spoken here that say it's a wonderful life. So that's been really cool, and it's just grown over the last 3 years. And what Hot Summer Nights is now, just a way, I always say, living locally. So work, shop, eat, play, local. So it's just a family festival that we host throughout the summer with live music and food trucks and a kids zone, and our retailers stay open, and it's just something fun for people in our community to be part of, and ways for our small businesses and large businesses to give back to the community in 2 different ways, since they're hosting the events. Plus, we're donating the money to various projects around our community. So it really is special. There's other communities that do something similar, but I truly believe ours is the best.
Yeah, it's great. And you guys do this several times each summer.
So this year we had 6 events with 8 bands. So that's a lot. And as you can imagine, it takes a lot of money to make that happen.
And people.
One of our band's actually members came from Colombia.
Wow.
So that was really cool. I don't think most communities can probably say they had musicians come from Colombia.
Right. So if you have picked up, this is a very diverse community. And to just kind of help paint the picture for our listeners, I feel like you've created an event that really tries to bring in all the different cultures and make that a part of it. So when I was down here a couple weeks ago, you had, even with the music that you provide, it's really cool. So talk about that piece. I'm sure that was an intentional decision when you started this.
Definitely. So at 2 of our events this year, we were able to also host a Latino band because, as you said, we're super diverse. And while obviously everyone's welcome, what a better way to have a band playing in their own language. Mm-hmm. And even aside from the Latino band, just picking a different genre for each night, because not everyone loves rock and roll, not everyone loves country. So I really tried to be very conscious of who we were hiring to come play here. And I also tried to have local ties to the community with all of our performances. Claudia Coltrane Reiner, she came and played for us. We had the Boyer River Band. It's just neat to also utilize our local talent.
Yes. And you also focus on families and making it a super family-friendly event. You've got stuff for kids. Do you call it the Kid Zone? Is that right?
We call it the Kid Zone. That is where, aside from the music, obviously, that's a huge, huge expense. But we spend a ton of money focusing on the kids. In some of the posts that maybe you've seen me make, I just constantly try to remind our community, our children are the future. So we have to give them a reason to want to come back here.
Yeah.
So building events like this or having opportunities for them is really important to me, especially as I'm raising my own family here. I want nothing more for them to come back here and be part of the community and raise their families here. And I would hope that most people would want that.
Yeah, absolutely. You also did a farm to table event.
We did. I am also part of the Women in Business Impact Organization, and we hosted our first farm to table event. And for our first year, I think it went really well. Everyone who attended was like shocked by, the beauty of it and just, all the thought put into it, and, having the cattlemen be part of it, or having local vendors, like, the Van Houten Farms did a ton of our produce and stuff. But it was a really neat thing to be a part of, and I'm really excited to see how that grows over the next few years.
Yeah. So we've talked a lot about town events, but talk to me about some of the events that you're doing here specifically at the store.
That is one of the most fun things to plan and be part of, and then see the community respond to. So some of the different things we do are, like, around Christmas time, we do cupcakes and cocoa. A huge hit for us has been like random Bloody Mary bars. We sell a fantastic Bloody Mary line out of Denver with like all homegrown products. And every time we do a Bloody Mary bar, we completely sell out of all our stock. That one has been a ton of fun. New for us last year, and our biggest like private event was Christmas at the Cottage. So we closed down completely for 4 days, paper the windows so it's all, held in suspense. And then we sell tickets for $25, and we host a Christmas at the Cottage event where you get the first look at Christmas for the year. We have some different specials, and then we sample all of the food items that we have. So all the breads, dips, pies, jams, barbecue wings. We do, gifts for all of those who attend. And that was actually the highest sales we've ever had in a night, which was insane. I truly wasn't expecting that. I was doing it more for just like an event for the community, get people to feel good about coming here. So while those sales were definitely accepted, it wasn't expected.
Yeah.
So that was super neat. But we just try to host lots of little things throughout the year, even, permanent jewelry. We've talked about having like a massage lady come in, just being creative in what else we can offer and how we can also partner with other small businesses, maybe to help them along their journey too when they're just starting out.
Yeah, and bring cool experiences to town that maybe nobody else is.
Absolutely. Apart from just us, there are other events that we do with other uptown retailers, like the Sip and Shop in March and the Brews and Brows usually in October. And again, just a way for us to give back to our customers, get them uptown shopping, get them excited about what Denison has to offer.
You recently moved locations, you mentioned. What prompted that move?
We're looking for a better opportunity to serve our customers. We loved our old location. We had the most beautiful big front windows and a very large space, but it didn't always set the tone for what we expected out of our business. And in our new place, we have tall ceilings, and it just truly is beautiful in here.
It is, yes.
And it's like a totally different vibe. People come in like, oh my gosh, it reminds me of the Magnolia Silos. Like, what better compliment could you possibly get? And other people just like, it's so calming in here, and it's just so much better. And so when this space came available, my mom definitely saw the vision first. And so we can thank her for kind of nudging us into this new space. But Now that we're here and we've spent a couple months here, it truly was the best decision we could have ever made.
That's awesome. How has the community received it?
It was so much fun doing our like ribbon cutting with the CDC, and then we hosted like our grand opening event. And it's really weird because you never know, like, are 5 people going to come or are 50 or 500? Like, especially being in a small community, you sometimes just don't know what to expect. And over 50 people showed up on the night of our CDC ribbon cutting. And I just thought that was so special that people would take time out of their day to come celebrate us in our new location. And that first month of being in our new location, we had some of the highest sales that we've had so far. And so I think the community is very supportive of what we're trying to do and what we did by moving over here.
That's so good. So you've done a lot of growing and expanding since you started in 2020. What have been some of your keys to navigating that successfully? Like, one of the things I noticed you do is some daily lives, and you're getting, really being intentional about getting your products in front of people.
A huge thing is just like your social media presence. And it's funny to me because so many people are like, oh, you're so great at social media. But I don't view myself as great at social media. I look at my stuff sometimes, or I look at what I'm lacking in, and I just only see the areas of improvement. But as a business owner or an entrepreneur, like, I think it's okay to know, like, there is room for improvement, and that's how you continue to grow. What has been big among other boutiques, just like worldwide, is, starting collections or like introducing your customers to, like, this is our Christmas collection, this is our Easter collection. So we really started focusing on things like that. A huge thing for us, like you said, with the daily lives was for months. I went live every day doing a water of the day with skinny syrups. And now that is by far our best seller in the whole store, which you wouldn't think a water or coffee flavoring would be, your biggest seller in a boutique, but there's no one around here that sells them. It's just really neat to see what people grab onto when you put it in front of them.
Yeah. I love that. What is the most rewarding part of the business for you?
I think just knowing that we truly try, like we say, we have something for everyone. So when people are coming in here, looking for a gift for their 90-year-old grandma, or, their best friend whose mom just passed away, or, an addition of a new baby, like, we have a little bit of everything. And so it's just rewarding knowing that people trust us enough to come here and make their, like, special moments more special by purchasing, what we have to offer. That's just really neat to be part of people's lives. Or, like, people will post pictures, of their kids or whatever on social media. And it's just fun seeing, in the background, their mantle is, pieces from the cottage. Like, we are part of people's lives and their homes and the most important celebrations and stuff. So that's just really neat to be a part of every day.
Talk about you talked about having to just address a lot of changes that were unexpected and you had nothing to do with, COVID and even moving locations and all that stuff. What are some of those challenges that you faced, and how have you overcome those?
I think in a small business, like, you're obviously going to be faced with challenges all the time. Mm-hmm. What is sometimes hard is maybe not totally being able to see the next step and just having the confidence or to just make decisions literally on the fly. Even with ordering sometimes, like, is this going to sell? Is this not going to sell? You really just always have to be ready to move. I don't know how else to explain it. There's not, Like every single day is different. Every single day has its own challenges. Like right now, I truly believe that people are pretty worried about what is happening worldwide, and you see people hanging on to the money they have, and you see a lot of people maybe not being able to spend as much as they used to. Like for a lot of families, especially in a small community and a farming community, people are struggling right now.
Yeah.
So just being creative with ways to get people still inside your business right now is our biggest challenge by far. So we're constantly just looking for new, fresh ideas to get people in here and get, people involved and keep people shopping.
Is offering a wider range of price points part of that strategy too?
That is something, I just saw a post yesterday actually, like all small businesses right now are definitely hurting. And so many places are offering different sales or, buy one, get one or whatever it might be. And like just how important it is to support the small businesses in your community right now. And we have played a little bit with our price points too. People used to come in, I need a $20 gift, but I would love a $20 gift too, but that's getting harder and harder, even with our suppliers. It just seems like everything price-wise has really risen. So it is getting harder to, work with a minimal budget, but there are some areas where we're willing to just not make as much on one product as we would on another, just to make that sale and just to be here for our customers overall.
Yeah.
Even if that means at the end of the day we take a little less.
Yeah. What words of wisdom would you have for other people who are thinking about getting into retail in their small town?
First, I think it is really important to be involved with like your chamber or, there's different organizations who can really help you. That was something that we didn't do in the beginning. And I truly, like, I knew we had a chamber. I didn't really know everything they did, but now after spending a couple years on the chamber board, I really wish I, could have asked for advice or even different loans and programs that are available to young entrepreneurs or just people starting a new business. Like, talk to people who have done it. That was also something I didn't do. And honestly, probably the most important, like, talk to God. You're gonna know if it's right. And I've like seen memes that say, the same God that gave you the idea is gonna bring you the customers. Like, we have, as we've talked about, had some really challenging months, years, days. But we know in the end, like, it's all going to work out, and we're here for a purpose, and being willing to pivot and change and have flexibility is definitely really important in being a small business owner, or even an event coordinator, or some of the different roles that I have played over the last few years. Just jump in.
Yeah. And why is it important for people to get involved in their community, especially as a small business owner here?
It's interesting for me because I have worn and wear a lot of different hats over the last few years, and it just seems like everywhere I go, it's the same, maybe 20 people. And for us, we live in a town of like 10,000 people. So in my mind, there should be more than enough volunteers. And it always seemed like people will ask me for hot summer nights, how many volunteers do you have? And my legit answer is more than I've ever received. It's just so important and so easy to get involved in your community, even if it's 2 hours a month, even if it's one event, whether that be at church, with your child's school, with, the local. There's so many local to us, like 125th, 150th celebrations going on this year, which is just wild.
Yes.
And I do see even all of them, like, we're still looking for volunteers. And it's just crazy to me that people don't want to be part of all these great things. And I know people are busy and they've got kids and they've got jobs. But even if you can just give a little bit of yourself for a very minimal amount of time, you don't have to go host 8 nights of hot summer nights.
Right.
Start by, 3 hours at Vacation Bible School. Start with taking a 3-hour shift at Barbecue Fest. It would just be so cool if everyone loved their community and put energy into it.
Yeah.
When I had been given the Volunteer of the Year award a couple years ago, and the lady that received it before me, she said that her dad used to always say as they were growing up, you get out what you put in, and I just hope that I don't ever take more than I gave. And I just wish everyone, because that even I was already very involved, but that kind of even changed the way I thought. And thinking about, we have 4 kids and what I want the future of Denison to look like for them, just like how important it is to show my kids like this is important, or even friends that are younger than me who maybe weren't involved, and like kind of inspiring them to do their part. I just wish everybody thought the same as I do.
Yeah, and I think too, I feel like every time I volunteer for an event like that, I get the opportunity to know somebody in the community who I maybe didn't know very well or at all before, and you get to build you get to get new friends and build new friendships with people.
Right. It was really cool. Denison has gone through some like pastoral changes over the last few years. I'm very involved in our church, but it was neat to see other churches also step up to volunteer for hot summer nights. So I did meet a lot of new people, or, they got to understand more about hot summer nights, or even other things at Women in Business, working with the cattlemen, or working with our host home, or, working with people at the bake shop. I think you're spot on. You like, the deeper you get and the more connections you make, like, it's only positive.
Right. Yes. Well, what's next for you besides a new baby?
Baby is our definite main focus, which we are insane. When this baby goes to kindergarten, Kinnick is going to be a senior.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Aside from having baby number 4, we here at the store are like in full-fledged getting ready for Christmas mode.
Sure.
Creighton asked me this morning on the way to school, how many days till Christmas? I'm like, 106. He's like, oh.
That doesn't seem like very many, actually.
No. So when you say, okay, 100 days, that sounds like a long time. But in terms of retail, that's like literally tomorrow.
Yes.
And even, I think it's like 6 weeks from now, or maybe even less now. Time is just flying. We have our Christmas at the Cottage private event, and then it's, the big town celebration with the recipe walk, and then it's literally Christmas Day.
Yeah.
So that is where we are definitely focused, and that's where we're at for now.
Okay, that's a good thing to focus on for now. How do we follow along with all that you have going on?
Yeah, definitely. First, at the Cottage, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram. We have a website too. Everything is basically under the Cottage Denison. Hot summer nights it's kind of in a transition area, but you can definitely follow along on Facebook, Hot Summer Nights. We talked a little bit about our chamber and Women in Business. Definitely look them up. They're easy to find. Or give us a call here at the Cottage.
Yes, or come shop. It's
Come
so
shop.
Awesome. Okay, so before we go, what's your number one home decorating tip?
Okay, number one decorating tip. Do your own thing. Your home doesn't have to be Pinterest perfect. Like, it's still home.
Yeah.
Enjoy what you have. Don't just pick something because that's the fad for right now. Like, You can be super trendy and all those things, and that's wonderful, but it's still a home.
Yeah.
And I think that is more important than the aesthetic, which probably sounds weird coming from a home decor owner, but it's more important to love what you have in your home than for it to be perfect.
Love it. That's so good. All right, Taylor, thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. Well, what a great conversation. And I have witnessed firsthand the great impact this business and Taylor's involvement has had on the community of Denison. Mark your calendars because the Cottage and the Denison community have some great events coming up. Their Fall Frenzy is on October 9th. Christmas at the Cottage is on October 28th. Holiday Open House is November 14th and 17th, and that all wraps up with their Recipe Walk on November 17th. You can find all the details in the show notes. Taylor also used our farm dinner event kit for their recent farm to table dinner. If you're thinking about bringing a farm to table event to your community, go check out our farm dinner event kit on our website, and you can find that link in our show notes. Huge thanks to Taylor for being on the podcast, and thanks to you for tuning in. Have a great day, everybody.